just did a show last week, so it's not like we got that much more to talk about.
Yeah,
I really
we're
haven't.
live.
I haven't really been doing much.
We're live. Oh,
We are
you
live
get like the Google things like on the side of your phone, like Google articles that it like shoots to you.
sometimes.
Well, there was one from The Gamer that's an opinion piece called Obi-Wan Season 2 needs to explore his sexuality and has this picture.
What?
Why?
He had a
Why?
girl. She's dead.
Yeah, he had a girlfriend.
But
You
why
know,
does it have the trans flag in the background?
it's a team. Yeah, he,
I
he, he
mean,
got her. He got her killed.
But
yeah. So like, what are we talking about here? Like, he had a girlfriend in the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah,
In
and
in the Clone Wars,
the Mandalorian girl, Bo-Katan's sister.
yeah.
and also
So what are we?
I
So what are we talking about with the flag? Like that doesn't make any sense here.
yeah I
Like
don't know.
do they just want to make everybody gay? Like, you know what I mean? Like what's the point? What's the
I
point of making someone who's clearly heterosexual just to make him gay for no reason at all?
mean, like they're trying to say now that Abraham Lincoln was gay because he had a close friend.
Okay, you know, we all know we all had our own Abraham Lincolns that showed up to the family cookout with his roommate. Like we know we've all known he showed up to the family reunion with his roommate, and
Is
we
that
ain't
gonna be
think
a
nothing
thing
else
now?
about it.
That we just call them Abraham Lincolns now?
The Lincolns, the stinking Lincolns. But man, I don't get it. I mean, but I'm not a part of the Alphabet Boys, so like I don't get the point of trying to make characters that aren't gay.
And
The
I'll,
kind of the same way I feel about making characters that aren't black, or people that aren't of like in comic book movies, like we have these characters established, like the ancient one from
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. Like, yo, do we need to make the ancient one a white lady?
Well, they did that to appease China because apparently the person was Tibetan or something, and of course
Okay,
they can't have that.
okay. I mean that, but like,
No, I
did,
understand what you're
did,
saying.
did we did we need to do that? Like, and sometimes it works out well, sometimes it doesn't. Like, if it's a character from like a book or something like that where it's not really defined,
well,
then fine.
an article like that looks like an article that like would be something a like someone from Fox News would make up. Like this is
Yeah,
what they are, and then
Oh, so it's like trying to say we need to explore our sexuality.
yeah. You know what? I was recently I saw a video and it was about Mass Effect, and I got reminded about the sex box controversy on Fox News, where they tried to say that that the sex in Mass Effect was a porno. And like they kept just talking, and then they let Jeff Keighley talk. He said like three words, and they cut him off. And it was just like they had Jeff Keighley on. They had Jeff Keighley on the show, and they absolutely would not let him explain or do anything. They just kept cutting him off, and they just made it seem like Mass Effect was like Debbie Does Dallas of video games, and it's like, what
They were
is
just
this? Like,
thinking they were knocking it
yeah,
down in Mass Effect.
they were making it out like Mass Effect was actually ass erect.
There you go.
But
They're knocking it down in space.
also,
right. Uh,
I've seen like pictures of the Steam Deck and like art of it or whatnot. I've actually never
mhm.
seen it in someone's hand, and there's an article here. That fucker is huge. Look
Yeah,
how
I seen
look how big that thing is.
someone who I follow, the guy that City Planner Plays, who does a lot of City Skylines videos and Timberborn and a couple other city building games. He bought one himself, And just for reference, he put one next to his Switch, and it is very much larger than a Switch.
Because the thing that I mean, I my reservation just came up and I wasn't able to pay for it, so I canceled the reservation and then re-reserved. So now I'm like after October, so maybe I'll have the money then. But the thing that kind of makes me interested in, I mean, I am interested in some sort of portable device that I can like just play. You know, if I go out of town, I don't have, if I want to play video games, I don't have to like bring a console. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
with the Switch, I have to buy new games. With the Steam Deck, I already have all those games. I get to
Right.
play the games I already own. So it's like it's almost like I would pay more for the Switch because I'm having to buy the Switch and a bunch of games versus just buying the Steam Deck. But
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. And Switch games are expensive, especially if they
Yeah,
came from Nintendo.
because Nintendo does not do discounts on their games. Like they like the price you paid on launch day. That's the price you're gonna pay at the end.
Yeah, like you buy a Nintendo game right now, like even if you buy it used, like you're saving like $5. Like that $60 game is now $55
and you might
used.
get the great sale of this $59.99 game on $49.99. You know what I mean?
Not even no, they don't even do that. Not for Nintendo games. Nintendo games it's extremely rare for the Nintendo's own games for them to go on sale like that.
Yeah, because I think I was trying to get Paper Mario about a year ago because I was going to stream it, which I streamed it once and then never streamed it again. The cheapest I found it, I had to find it used, and it was like $40 used, and that's like because like it was still full price.
My when the new Animal Crossing for the Switch came out, Pooh Bear wanted Animal Crossing for the Wii. For the Wii, that shit was still 35 fucking
Really?
dollars.
Wow.
And it's like, yo, and I tried to convince Pooh Bear because like Pooh Bear has no concept of money. So I'm like, yo, this game came out the year you were born. And you want me to spend, it's not even half price at this point. Like because at the time it wasn't $60. So it's still not, it wasn't even half price. And so it's you want me to spend $35 for a game that came out the year you were born. That's stupid to me. And I would never do that. So like yeah, Nintendo games don't depreciate, and Nintendo has their fans, and that's the reason why they can do this. But I'm not a Nintendo fan, so I have a Nintendo Switch, but I have a whole bunch of like non Nintendo specific made games. I think I only have one Nintendo game. That's uh, Mario Kart. That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a Nintendo fan, but I mean, if I got a Switch, I would definitely get some Nintendo games because I know that they're going to be good and fun. You know, they're always well made, except for like maybe I don't know, but I mean, the one that's
I
kind of
can,
got me
I can,
interested
I can.
is the new Kirby, just because well, Kirby's always been not very hard and just fun, so I knew that that would just be
I
just
have
fun.
never played a Kirby game.
Me neither.
I've never played a Zelda game. I've played the original Metroid. I have not played anything since, and I have not played a Mario game since Mario World.
Well, that's
So
just, I mean,
I'm definitely not their audience.
right, and that's the same with me. I haven't, I didn't get a 64. I mean, I got the last Nintendo console I've ever owned was the Game Boy, the original Game
Mm,
Boy.
Mine was a Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I never even
I,
got a
I'm
Super Nintendo.
I used a Game Boy a decent amount, but I've never owned one.
Yeah, so like 64. I mean, Amber loves the 64 and all that stuff, but like I just don't have the nostalgia for that.
I have never held a 64 controller outside of a Walmart.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
I'm watching this
Well,
video.
that's also, man, that reminds me of like things we used to do pre-COVID because they don't have no controllers outside no more for people to be touching. You
Yeah,
know?
y'all get me out here touching shit. Um,
Oh,
so
that's a bit much.
so
I don't even know why they
Um,
still have like the mechanical keyboards and shit out because every time you look at a mechanical keyboard, it's like look at this cool keyboard that you can buy. Yeah, all the
Mechanical
keys are
keyboards with no
missing.
keys. Yeah, they used to do that. They did when I worked at Target. They were doing that there, and I was just go by and I'd be like, why? Why?
why is this a thing?
She's like so weird.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's, it's
I was looking at this video of the Portillo's, the famous Chicago restaurant that has like a famous shake. They call it a cake shake, and I thought it was just a name. No, they actually
no,
put
they put a slice of cake
slices
in
of
that
cake.
bitch.
That's a bit much. I'm not diabetic, but I think that would make me diabetic.
Right,
What
I
was it
am,
again? What
and
what
and
was the
and
cake
they
again?
definitely would make me more diabetic.
It's a cake shake in a Chicago restaurant called Portillo's.
Yeah, they actually put a slice of like
I
chocolate
thought
cake
I thought it was
in it.
just a name, like it tasted like cake. Not that they actually put cake in it.
No, it's a whole ass slice of cake, and it's not even a little slice either.
No, it's a big old. Yeah, I'm looking at a video of them making one. Like, oh, that's too much.
So,
Yeah, I don't even like cake like that. So I mean, cake's fine. It's just man.
I didn't hear that. Hello, everyone. This is Scarcasm. It
He
is August.
said,
It is August. August. Our original guest for today got a toothache, so he could not be here. So we're going to try to reschedule and get Scott on. Um, we are having a rolling start, and things are well. Um, Sam is here, and we are talking about cake and shakes. It's like boats and hoes, but you know,
but for fat people.
different rhyme scheme, and for fat people.
Boats and hoes. That's one of the thing. One of the Nightwish fans said that you would like is boats and hoes.
Yes, I did like that song. That song was the shit, yo. I did, I've been talking to someone on. I think it's the Ginger video. Someone said that we should do a home free video, and I'm like, yo, I've been a fan of home free since the sing off. Like, y'all know I was about that life with the sing off. But here's the thing. I don't like country music. They are an a cappella group, but they do mostly country music. I enjoyed them for the show, and I believe they actually won that season over 10, which I was really, really upset about because I thought 10 was better. But I absolutely will introduce some of that stuff because I really, I really loved the sing off at the time, and so that home free video that I talked about in the comments will be added to my list for later because that shit means something to me. In like the home free video, the end of it is one of those ones like the Ginger video where something like really crazy happens at the end. So I'm gonna add that to the list, and I might add some other stuff like some cool like especially like other groups like Committed who won like season 2 and stuff like that. But I think that's a little bit further down the line um, because I have some other stuff that I want to do first. But I just wanted to get that out there that I absolutely will get to some of my acapella stuff because I'm really about that life. And yeah, that was for the YouTube people. YouTube people, I'm gonna get there. And I think it would be fun to do another Nightwish song. At this point, I think it just would be fun. I don't think we're gonna do it I don't think we're gonna record it in August, but September we might do another Nightwish song. I think that's gonna happen. It has to, right?
May, Maybe we'll pick one of the ones to where they said some of the people were like, maybe this wasn't the best introduction. Try this one instead. That maybe it's a little bit heavier. Maybe it's a little bit, you know.
At this point, I'm just kind of like I at this point I just want to. Well, first of all, I want these people to shut the fuck up, like because I'm sick of the people who keep
Doing
commenting.
another Nightwish video is not going to make them shut the fuck up.
No, no, because no, because at first I just wanted to be as far away from Nightwish as possible. right? But now, since they won't stop, now I feel like antagonizing them more. And like, and it the antagonistic part of me is not going to be towards Nightwish. It's going to be towards the fans. And I am going to give those motherfuckers the blues. I I hate the fact that like you have people that still commenting the same shit that we got from day one. It's been weeks. And they're still commenting the same shit. Someone said, "Oh, we looks and sees that they have 60 something subscribers." I was like, "Yeah, but you're saying the same thing that they said when we had 34. You're saying the exact same thing they said when we had 34. So, like, what is it? Are we fucked up because we have 34, or are we fucked up because we have 61?
Are they looking at how long we've had a YouTube channel?
I don't
Because
know.
technically we just started. Like, because before our YouTube channel was just like an archive for live stuff. It
Yeah,
wasn't really for getting views or anything like that.
right. I don't know. It's just weird. And oh, I meant to tell you something, Chase. I got a Facebook request this week.
Okay.
Howard's back.
No.
Howard's back.
He's back in post live reaction time. Howard's gonna bring a video for us to react to when he comes on August.
Oh God, I hope not. Like I know you enjoyed that shit. I did not. Howard's a weird dude. He hasn't changed at all. Like he hasn't changed at all. So all of the people who, because there was a lot of people that wanted me to bring Howard back on. Like a lot of people. That's not even. So we might do that at some point. It ain't gonna be no time soon.
But most of the people,
But
I think, it's like dance birdie dance. Like want to see Howard be his mentally unhealthy self, and which isn't really healthy for Howard. You know what I mean?
but it's fun for you.
Right.
But I don't know that reference. What is Dance Birdie Dance?
Well,
Do you know where that's from, or is it just something that you say?
it's it's using Birdie instead of like a simian name. So
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. Yeah, we don't use simians around here like that. Even though, even though, one of the things that I've watched, one of the things that I watched, I started watching Misfits with my daughter again, and there was an episode with a simian in it,
Uh-oh.
featured prominently. It was weird. We're on season 3 at this point. Because it's an old British show, so like the seasons are like 6 to 8 episodes. So we've gotten through that pretty fast. My daughter has started Black Mirror.
Does she like it?
She just thinks it's weird because she's 14. I told her I preferred to watch it with her, so there were some things that I could explain
So you
because
can
I mean
explain. Yeah.
the whole first episode is about a guy being held for ransom to fuck a pig on national TV. So like that needs to be explained. You know what I mean? It needs to be explained. But the first episode is very different than the rest of the series. Very different than the rest of the series. But yes, the first episode is about a guy, the Prime Minister of England, being basically blackmailed because of a kidnapping to fuck a pig on national TV. That's not what it's about, but that's the part that people remember. But it's really about like how social media can change, can sway um, things happening, and like how opinions can change in a blink when something happens.
like how Facebook caused a genocide.
Facebook calls it genocide.
Well, apparently, if it wasn't for Facebook and the mass media, there's some, I can't remember exactly, but there was a country to where they the oppression and the genocide was really helped by using Facebook as a tool.
A tool to control people.
Yeah, or,
Okay,
I'd have to, you'd have to look it up because I mean, I only kind of heard about it, but
but it could be a situation like they were using WhatsApp to communicate with each other. Like what I mean, because most other countries use WhatsApp a lot.
hmm and Facebook
Like
owns that shit.
yes, yeah. A lot of other countries like WhatsApp is like just as popular, if not more popular, than Facebook and Twitter. It's bonkers. Because like I've used WhatsApp before, but I ain't used it for very long.
Isn't it like Messenger or is it different?
It's like
Yes,
a messenger. It's like not a. Well, I wouldn't even say it's not affiliated with your phone number. It is because you have to put your phone number in it to use it. But somehow it's different because it doesn't use your phone's what is it called? Your usage, your data.
yeah,
Apparently,
yeah. It's weird. It's very weird. But I don't really know all of the intricacies of it because I don't use it. So
You're like, what's up?
I'm like, what's that? Um, I really wish that I could put that as the show title, but like, how do I make that as like, what's that? Instead of like putting the name of the app and people go like, why are we talking about the app? So, um, so uh, we were all here last week. So how's your week been?
Me not so good. I got COVID again, so the weekend was pretty freaking tough. And well, actually, we recorded since then. Yeah, it's
Yes,
been a.
we the last show that we did last Monday, we already talked about you having COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been kind of weird. That's, and
he's
also I'm
completely
not.
lost track.
I'm
Because
not.
usually it's every 2 weeks, and now because of August is every week, and now like that's why I said I didn't think that the show was gonna last that long because we just did a show last week and not much has changed since then. That's the point of having the guests on, and then the guest that we were gonna have on has messed up too. Um,
One of
so like
these.
we are stuck trying to basically fill time that the guest would have done.
But yeah, so we already know that I had COVID, but that was on Monday we recorded, so the weekend was the tough part. So we'd already talked about that. So the week that I was pretty much in quarantine wasn't as bad. I mean, I've been tired. Well, I guess the term is fatigued because the difference in fatigued and drowsy is actually being sleepy to where you want to go to sleep. Fatigued is just like your body is weak and you don't want to do shit. And that's kind of how it was. So I just kind of just played just watched the kids, played Valheim with my brother, and Valheim has been kind of like a therapy because actually the last time I got COVID, Valheim was a what you call it, like when you just buy something like at the register, impulse buy.
Impulse.
Yeah, it was an impulse buyout because I saw an article. They're like everyone's talking about Valheim. I was like, I don't like survival games, but whatever. Buy. And then my brother talked texted me. It's like, hey man, we're gonna play this game called Valheim. I was like, wait a minute, is that the game I just bought? Oh shit! And then we all played, and I remember just one memory of my brother falling asleep while we were playing, and there was a storm in the game, and we were just sitting there waiting out the storm so we can go, do something. And I didn't know anything about the game at the time, and I just always remember that. And so, and it kind of, I don't know, that got me out of the brain fog the first time around. So this time I kind of used it as a little bit of a escape, and it's been really nice. Also, a world that just me and my brother are playing on, so it's just me and him. Nobody else is coming in, and you know, because last time we had a couple of friends that just like sped run. Like me and my brother would get on, and then the next time we get on, they have all the shit, and we're like, okay, how do we get all this shit? I don't. Oh, okay, and then we had like a fucking castle and shit because they just like were just playing it while we were at work and stuff, and so. But
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt when I was playing Minecraft, like with friends and stuff. And
mhm.
I don't play like all the time. Like I only play like when I stream or stuff. So I jumped up back on the server one day, and they pretty much created this entire big ass island and stuff. I'm like, whoa, how did y'all do that?
Yeah. So it's just been me and him, so we can kind of go at our own pace, and it's been really relaxing, and all that. And that's pretty much all I've been playing, except for a game called Assetto Corsa or Corsair. It's a Italian racing sim, and it's been out for a while, and I mostly did it to. I liked making, like the Forza Horizon games, you can't really do it because it's open world. But like when you do a race in like a racing game, you can do a replay, and it makes a cinematic replay of the race. I used to like taking those and putting it to music. That was my one of my original making videos on YouTube thing to do.
So it's like a racing version of Kung Fu Chaos.
Uh, I guess.
It's
Because
like, sure.
you if you ever played Kung Fu Chaos back in the day, like after the match is over, like it plays like a cinematic version of the what you just did. It was like really fucking cool back in those days.
Yeah. But yeah, I put a Dodge Charger into the game through a mod and then did my thing. And there's this app on my phone that actually does pretty well of like making things look like a 16 millimeter. So I put it in that and then put it back on and uploaded that to YouTube. And I put that into Discord as a video called Motherfucking Charger. And
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I said you shared the video, and I was just like, okay, what is this? And I was like, I don't really care much about cars. In fact, my car's fucked up right now. That's like my week is fucked, boy.
But yeah, you should check it out to see like how it looks because I thought it how the video actually turned out was pretty cool. But yeah, Valheim and Assetto Corso or whatever. But I suck at the actual campaign of that game. Holy shit! Like the first like race you do, I was like dead last twice. And it's not gonna be like Forza and be like, oh, you get some credits. No, you gotta win this bitch with this Fiat. Go.
Wow.
so so yeah, I'm mostly just gonna be do free play just to do like cinematic videos, but playing the freaking career, I'm pretty terrible.
Yeah, I don't do racing games. I racing games are really cool and a lot of them look really nice, but just I get bored with racing games so easily. Like
I
it's
yeah I was trying to I was they recently like in the last year or two put made an Xbox port of the original Mafia because the original Mafia was PC only.
Mhm.
And in one of the later levels, it's you have to get past this race in order to proceed. I give up. Like I clean stop playing the game because of that because I cannot get past it.
yeah, I hate in like open world games when they force you to race. Like I get it. Like a lot of like Grand Theft Auto, like you may have to do the first one, but you don't have to do any more after the first one. But I just can't.
I've been getting speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I was getting that with my kid to where he was like, I think I need help with this part. Can you help me with this part? And I'm like, what is the part? What are you doing? Just so I know kind of where you are. He's like, it's this is GTA 5 by the way, and he was like, well, you're having to like chase down this motorcycle. I was like, that's like one of the first missions. Okay, if you can't get past that,
Exactly.
you're gonna like the game's called. I know you're like do a lot of shooting and like with gangs and all this stuff and
Prostitute.
and all these things and that's what you think Grand Theft Auto is. It's called Grand Theft Auto. It's not called you know Gang the game. It's
Gang
called
gang
Grand Theft
simulator.
Auto. Right. It's called Grand Theft Auto. There's gonna be a lot of car stuff. that's what the game is. I mean, there are shooting parts, but you're going to do a lot of chasing and a lot of, and if in that motorcycle part, if like, I mean, I just hate to see them do the freaking boat part. Like,
Right. My thing is, well, I'm going through this same thing because Pooh Bear is playing Cyberpunk. And she's putting a lot of time into Cyberpunk, but like there's parts about like RPGs and there's parts about driving and stuff like that that she's just not very good at. And especially the shooting. Like because, when you're shooting, it's a first person shooter and she hasn't played very many of those because she says there's no story. So that's what I have to deal with. But I try to convince her, like, yo, you need to actually play first person shooters so that you understand what you're supposed to be doing here and how you're supposed to do it. But there's no story.
well,
Um,
play like what about a first person shooter that is very story driven, like the Metro games or something?
I don't think she's gonna go nowhere near that shit. I even offered her to play a third person shooter. I said you should play the Division with me, so you just get some shooting in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just get some shooting in, so that you can figure out how the fuck this whole thing works. And she was just like, no, there's not enough story in that game.
And she said no.
There's not enough story in that game. So like I had to deal with that too. And then there was a couple of times that I kind of helped her out. One time I actually did a shooting section for her. And then and I think I said this on the show before, but I realized, like, why are you not using the best gun you have? Like, why are you using you're using the worst gun you have because you didn't know that the guns have ratings and
And levels and
levels
stuff.
and
I,
shit.
I,
So
I did that on purpose because there'll be sometimes where I'll be playing with like a gun that I really, really like. It shoots really, really well. And after a while, it was like they became bullet sponges, and I was like, why? Oh, because I'm using like a level 10 gun, and like I have a level 19 gun available.
right. So it's stuff like that that's happening, and then there's one part where she had to do a sneaking section. I think I talked about this also, and then I was just like, you do realize you could just go over there, right?
Well, sometimes it ends up to where your level 10 gun is like a P90, but your level 20 gun is like a slingshot. Do you want the level 20 slingshot or do you want the level 10 P90? You know what I mean?
Slingshot, slingshot.
I was doing that with the clothes because like you can find clothes. I mean, once you level up enough and get enough money, you could just pretty much put out whatever you want in a way because you're strong enough. But at first, it's like this little man skirt over there has like a armor protection of 340. But I don't want to wear that. I want to wear these badass basketball shorts. Give me an armor level of 200. But
Right.
these are badass basketball shorts.
Yeah, it's weird,
You
but
got
like
something against man skirts?
I think it's the disconnect between our generation and theirs, right? Like we grew up playing all kinds of different shit.
Right. Yeah.
And then like over time we figured out which stuff that we like. They
Actually,
tried to figure out
actually,
what
video game developers are trying to figure out how to make video games better while we were also learning how to play video games.
right. So and then but for these young people, they pretty much figure out what they like up front. And then they pretty much only stay with that. And
They,
then
they stay with they stay with one genre. Yeah.
yeah, like not like I don't even know why my daughter wanted cyberpunk so bad. I think she just one of those things that you hear about on all of the YouTube channels and stuff that she was watching at the time when it first came out. And she bought that herself, and it was just like, you sure you want to buy this?
I thought she was
Like
hearing a
even
bunch of negative stuff. Like you
Right.
didn't think that she actually wanted like Elden Ring or something?
I bought
yeah,
Cyberpunk day one, and like right away, the minute I bought it from my work, the person who sold it to me, she doesn't really keep up with video games. First thing out of her mouth was like, "I heard that game sucks," and the game just launched that day. And I'm like,
wow.
okay,
I mean,
Huh.
I wouldn't say that it sucked. It was just bugged as all hell. And even with the patches, I know some people are still going through bugs. I witnessed my daughter encounter a bug. Um, she was riding around on a motorcycle, and she turned the corner too sharp because she can't drive very well, and she hit like a billboard or something that had some sort of like scaffolding behind it. and she ended up going inside of the scaffolding. She wasn't supposed to be inside of the scaffolding. Like there's bars and shit.
Oh, I've done
But
that. I've gone inside the buildings and just stayed there.
yeah, so she was stuck in there, and then I was just like, okay, so you want to play something else? And then we played As Dusk Falls. That is an interesting game so far because it's one of those story type games, but it's multiplayer. So the quick time events can be attributed to a certain player. Also, I learned that you can play that game with your phone.
Hmm.
You can play that game with your phone. So, like, if you got a whole bunch of people around, you can play with up to like 8 people or some shit. And like, so like when the decisions come up of what you're gonna say or what you're gonna do, um, you kind of select. You kind of select which one you think. And if we select something different, if it's a regular decision, it picks between the two of us.
As Dust Falls, that's on Game Pass, right?
Yes, it's on Game Pass. So we're definitely playing that on Game Pass. So we played like the first chapter, and we it's one of those things to whereas if you ever played one of those like David Cage games and stuff like that, it shows you the flow chart afterwards, and also in Telltale games where it shows you like your decisions and like what percentage of people actually chose the same thing that you did.
But I've heard that
But
unlike Telltale games, this game actually, the decisions you make actually do count. In Telltale games, a lot of times it's going to end
you
up the
know,
same anyway.
yeah, very much so. Um, so so yeah, we played through the first chapter, and so far it's interesting. It has a very the art style is weird. Um, the motion, most of the motion in the game is not actual motion. It's like stills, and the stills move from one position to another position.
Yeah, I was noticing that in like the Steam trailers and stuff.
Yeah, the trailer is like that, but yes, the game is like that too. And so it's really weird. But here's the worst part about what I did. What like playing this game. There is a character in the very intro of the game that proves that that character doesn't die in what you're playing. So like you never have any worry of this character because that character is older in the intro of the game. So you automatically know that that character is in no danger here, which kind of sucks. But yeah, it's cool, and like I said, you can play it. You can play it with up to 8 people, which I think that's kind of cool. And it's kind of like even though it was just me and Pooh Bear playing, like if it was up to 8 people, is some of the choices are majority rules. But
When
since
you
there's
said
only
that
it's
the quick time events could be different people, does that mean that you do the quick time events or you do them, or does it like you press A and you press X?
no, it'll say Scar do this, like it'll actually say that
But that would be
because you kind of
crazy if the quick time events were like, each.
but a lot of them are it doesn't actually do the quick time event until both of us do it.
Oh,
But
okay,
some of them are person specific.
okay.
But so far is really interesting. I'm really kind of interested in where the story is going. It's you know, I think is kind of polarizing at this point. Uh, some people really like it. Some people hate it. I just looked at the reviews and stuff like that on Xbox on the actual the store page for this game itself. Um, and so some is polarizing. Most people seem to like it. Other people seem to absolutely hate it, especially if you're on an Xbox One. It seems to crash a lot. So
Oh, I was in Target today and I saw Series X's on the shelf, like actually
Oh
there.
wow.
Series X's, wow.
Yeah.
I know the S's are readily available.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the S's were available when I quit. They were just on the shelf and no one gave a shit.
Yeah,
It was the X that everybody wants. That
I
everybody wanted.
I wish that I would have gotten an X, but at the time I had enough to buy this, so I bought that. But yeah, I really wish that just for the space concerns would have, yeah,
Well,
would have been over.
even though you probably wouldn't get very much for it, I mean, when you have the money and if you wanted to, I mean, you could do the GameStop thing and do it credit it towards the X.
Man, I
You
ain't
know.
got no money. Shit, I gotta figure out how the fuck I'm paying my rent on Friday. I
I
figure out
know.
how the fuck I'm pulling this one off. Um,
That's why I said
yeah,
win, not um, you
if. So, but yeah, so we've been playing that, and that's been cool. We're probably gonna play a little bit more once this show is over. Because I really want to see where the story goes at this point.
know. Okay.
So, but so far it's been really cool. And like I said, if you want to play with your family, like they can play with their cell phones. They actually have an app that you sync the app. They put a code on the screen, so if someone wants to use the app, they can just use the app instead of using an actual controller.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's actually pretty cool so far. I think we've made some mistakes, and maybe a character has died already that we didn't really intend to die. So,
What's the game actually about?
so far in the first part of the story, I can say there's two separate scenes from each other, and they converge at the end. There is a family that is moving, um, a husband, wife, a little girl, and the husband's father. They are driving because they are moving to, is it Missouri? They might be moving to St. Louis, I think.
Missouri.
Um,
Misery.
Missouri.
Misery.
So that's one story about these people, and then um, they have an issue and they have to stop at. They have an issue. They have a car issue and they have to stop at a motel. If they're in Nevada somewhere,
Oh, okay.
they're in bumfuck Nevada. They're moving from California.
So it's kind of a road
So
trip game.
no, because also there is another storyline of a well in my playthrough a botched robbery, and then in the course of running away, they actually run into these people at the motel. So that's where it all converges. Then this is just a first chapter. So like all of this stuff converges. Actually, it converged quite earlier because the people going to do the robbery is the one who actually caused the car damage to the other people. But this
Because
is just chapter one. So,
because
so
there's
let's
another game. It's kind of like this. It seems like called Road 96, and that's also on Game Pass. I'm kind of interested in.
okay. Yeah, I don't know if I would. This is the kind of stuff that my daughter loves, and not necessarily things that I like. Like she really wants to play that game, The Quarry. I just didn't buy it because that shit is $60, and I got to figure out how I'm going to pay my rent. So, but I don't necessarily care that much for these. So, like I played the Telltale Walking Dead games. I played the first couple.
Hmm.
I haven't played more. I haven't played past the first two. I started and didn't finish the Wolf Among Us. I ended up just watching someone play the Wolf Among Us. And I started but didn't finish the Borderlands one. I really enjoyed the Borderlands one, but for some reason I stopped, and I don't know why.
Everyone that I started, I finished because I mean they're not very long, but the ones I mean I haven't played all of the Walking Dead ones. I think I may have stopped after three. I'm not sure exactly where I stopped.
They're all on Game Pass. Well, all of the Walking Dead's at
All
least.
of them are okay.
So there you go, Chase. You got no
I
excuse.
did play Michonne. A lot of people sleep on that one, but I thought that one's really good.
I That was one that I skipped, and I skipped the 400 Days one. I think it's called 400 Days.
Yeah, that one's kind of a prequel to like one of
This is
them.
a prequel to two.
Okay.
I think it's a prequel to two, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't played that, so it's just it's those games don't really excite me as much as they did when the first Walking Dead came out. Like I was really into that game,
Yeah.
and I only played the second one out of obligation of trying to figure out what happened after the first game. So, but
Yeah, I have
like
to be
it's
in the mood.
not really my type of shit.
I have to be in the mood to play a game like that. But I definitely will say that I would rather a horror game to be like that than how they're making like a lot of these 4v1 horror games. Cause
Or games like The Quarry. But I do know I've heard good things about the Batman one.
I saw somebody play that on Twitch one time. It looks okay. There's nothing that I'm not really into those kind of games, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it looks interesting. That's the reason why I watched someone play The Wolf Among Us.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, cause like the whole time I was playing the Borderlands one, made me just want to play Borderlands.
yes, very much so. But I did watch my daughter play a good chunk of Detroit Become Human, which is the same type of game. Those narrative, but that was a David Cage one, so there's a ton of convoluted
that's kind
nonsense.
of like is that kind of like Heavy Rainish?
Yeah, David Cage did Heavy Rain also.
And Beyond Two Souls.
Wait,
Yep.
did he also do that Fahrenheit game?
Yes.
Because I still could not.
Yes.
I could not get past the first stage where like you have to drag the body into the bathroom or something before the cop comes in to wash his hands or go to the. It's like because like apparently you walk into the bathroom in the diner, you find a body, and the cop is like 2 minutes 2 seconds away from like going in to use the toilet and seeing the body, and they drag you out and everything. So you have to stop that from happening. I dragged the body into the bathroom, and I left a trail of blood.
I think I played the demo of Fahrenheit.
And then like I couldn't like he catches me every time, and I'm like, okay, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah, on everything except for Xbox, it was Fahrenheit, and then on Xbox, it's Indigo Prophecy.
Indigo Prophecy. I have the PC. They did a PC remaster a few years ago. I
Yeah.
bought that, and never played it, never touched it.
I don't blame you after what you just said. I don't
Yeah,
blame you at all. It's the same thing that they're doing a remaster of the Ninja Gaiden games, and I'm like, fuck no.
but the original or the Sigma threes or whatever.
All of them.
Oh,
They're putting in they're remastering them and then putting them in a collection, and I said, fuck no. You know how long it took me to get past the first dude with the nunchucks? No, thank you. I'm not. No, no, no,
the original
no.
NES game is like really unforgiving. It's like, oof.
Yeah, that game,
Well, what
and I
about?
played that one quite a bit, but
Are you
like
talking
that
about like
fucking
Ninja Gaiden
that
Black and shit?
That's
that ox no, he's talking about the
I'm talking about
original.
the NES. I'm talking about the original one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I
but
sure
never
about the
played any
black
of
one, the
those.
Sigma, and all the. You're talking about all
but
those
the
those more modern ones. Those are all in a collection.
but the
Is what you're saying.
Oxbox one was very very unforgiving. Like I said, I had the hardest time with the first boss. Like he's the first one. Like, and I'm like, yo, if it took me this long to beat this dude and he's the first boss, like, what the fuck am I gonna do for the rest of this game? So I kind of stopped playing. I got past him, and then I got to a part where you had to shoot a bow and arrow, but there was no icon or anything on the screen, so I couldn't line up my shots because I can't see where the fuck I'm shooting. I don't know whether there was a glitch or something in what I was playing, but like you're pointing the bow and arrow, you're drawing back, and I can't see anything. I don't see a dot, I don't see a line, I don't see shit. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and I stopped playing Ninja Gaiden Black at that point, and
Is
I'm
that where
just
you
like,
started
no.
Nepo?
Yeah. And I wouldn't do Nepo on that shit because the Ninja Dog mode they just fucking talk shit about you.
The Ninja Dog.
Yeah, they call it a Ninja Dog mode. Like you suck. Like so you got to play this. You got to play this shit for babies. So yeah. So yeah. But as far
What game was like that? Where like the novice mode, they were like baby mode or something like that. There was a game that was like that.
Well, there was like
I
I
think it
know
Wolfenstein.
Brutal Legend. I think I never played any of those games, but I know one of them had like a
I
baby mode.
I bought Brutal Legend and I was highly upset because I bought it brand new. I bought it. I don't know if it was the day of, but it may have been the day after. I was interested in that game because I thought it was a hack and slash, and then you get it and you realize it's an RTS.
Yeah, I don't really fuck with Jack Black, so that's why I'm no.
I
I
love
don't.
Jack Black.
He's this kind of comedy is not for me.
I used to love Jack Black comedies. Actually, there is going to be the School of Rock is doing a performance here sometime soon.
Hmm.
Yeah, I ain't saying I'm going,
Jack Black is
but
in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. He has dreads.
Really?
yes, I remember that. But also Neil Patrick Harris in Saints Row 2.
Oh yeah, he had the yeah, he was like a Rasta. He
What,
was a white Rastafarian.
what was his name? It was like he had some
Veteran
weird
child.
DJ
veteran
something.
child. There we
There you
go.
go.
Veteran child. And then old girl from the Flash is actually takes on from Elijah Dushku in 3.
Oh yeah.
She's the voice of Shandi.
Man, I wish.
The if you watch the
When
Flash,
they
Cecile,
when they turned her into a Kardashian.
Man, I wish that
basically.
game played better on PC, man.
Yeah, Saints Row 2 is awful on PC. Oh,
Have you tried to play it? Like, have you tried to play the re-release when they put it back on Xbox? They did not do anything to boost it up or make it accessible for modern consoles because it looks like trash. It plays like trash.
yeah. I mean, it always played like trash, but it was still fun.
No, I mean the look of the aesthetics, the UI, all that stuff. It just looks horrible on modern consoles.
Yeah, that's awful. Because that's such a good game. I don't know. I don't know about this new one. Like I said, I'm not playing this shit unless they put it on fucking Game Pass.
Saints Row the Starbucks game, the
Yeah,
Starbucks edition.
nah, I'm good. Like I've not seen anything from any of the preview coverage that makes me go, I want to play that. Nope.
I mean, I was
Nope.
originally hyped just because it was Saints Row, but then I saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, I think I'm out.
I was originally hyped because they said that they were going to go away from the Crackdown shit.
Oh yeah. They were going to revamp it to like.
Yeah, they were going back to boots on the ground people. You know what I mean? They were going back to regular people, not fucking superheroes and shit. Like, so I was interested in it for that reason and that reason only. But nah, I can't do it.
Well, it's people. It's just Gen Zers.
Yeah, I can't. I have to deal with a Gen Zer every fucking day. No, thank you. Absolutely not. So yeah, that I have what have you played, Sam? Anything new since last
Absolutely
week?
nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like literally, the only thing I play is when I stream like The Sims, and that's it. I
I
just
saw,
don't. I've been
I saw you playing The Sims. I saw one time when I was on playing Division. I saw you were logged on playing The Sims.
on Origin. Yeah.
No, it showed up on your Xbox thing.
Oh yeah, because somehow I was able to connect my Steam, my Origin, and everything I play on here, it's connected to my Xbox for some reason, so it shows that I'm playing PC games on Xbox.
Yep. So so I saw that you were playing that.
I'm gonna stream Tacoma tomorrow night.
What is Tacoma?
It's Chase. Have you played Tacoma, or are you aware? It's like It's like Gone Home. It's a walking simulator. Pretty much.
You're just talking about how you didn't like Telltale games and like games.
That's
like,
not a Telltale game. That's different.
I know, but it's still like not a action-packed game.
It's not an action-packed game, but it's just like it's a. How is it different? It's just kind of. I don't like actual I don't like the Telltale art. The art style that they have, I don't like it.
Yeah, I think I've seen a preview of Tacoma, and it looked kind of like As Dusk Falls.
It was like it's from the makers of Gone Home, the people who did Gone Home. It's basically another.
Gone Home was the biggest fucking letdown of all.
Oh yeah, because they said they said that because I looked at what the dev said about it, and he said that he purposely did put sounds in it to make it seem like there was some creepy shit going on, and there was nothing.
Right, and it's the same way with Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain, there were some supernatural elements in there, and they cut the supernatural elements, but they didn't cut out the stuff that led to the supernatural elements out of the game. There's things that happen, and you're just like, well, how the fuck did that happen?
Gone Home has one jump scare, and it's when you go down the stairs when you find that like your parents' closet has like a door that leads to the basement, and you go down to the basement. There's a cross on the wall. If you go to touch the cross on the wall, the light pops. That's the only jump scare in the game.
Yeah, I just was hoping that there was more there. And
but like, it gave me a creepy, eerie feeling because you could just feel like you were not the only person in that room. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and it turns out
and you love that early '90s nostalgia.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, but like it had an eeriness to it because the house was abandoned and you didn't know why.
The sound effects and like the music and stuff like that, like it really made you feel like there was something else.
You walk into a dark room and you don't know what was going to happen. Like when you walk into your dad's office, it's just like the fact that you can look down the hall and you can see like an empty room or with the light off or whatever. It's just like it gave you that eerie feeling. And then the entire game was like that. And on top of that, it was raining. It was storming outside. But like that game was really the story I really, really enjoyed. And
but it was like a letdown when like nothing really happened. Like
when you the entire time there's like the note that your sister leaves you is like don't go to the attic. And like when you go up to the attic, you see like a LED, like kind of like a red light up there, like something's going out there, but you don't have the key, and you have to find the key. Find the key, you go up there, and it just turns out to be nothing. But it was just kind of like, okay, well. But I enjoyed the story. I really did.
Yeah, it was one of those things to where I got it in a Humble Bundle. So I played it. I played it through the Humble Bundle, and then I was like, I never have to do this ever again.
But it's the same people who did that. It's actually Tacoma is a really good story. I played it before. But yeah, it's more story than anything else. There's
some.
You're unraveling a mystery.
It looked like they won some awards and shit like that.
Oh, really?
It has a really high audience rating on Google. It's a 4.9 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming that tomorrow. So for people who haven't seen it or don't know what it is, like they'll get a chance to check it out.
Word. I did last week I finished watching Stranger Things.
Oh yeah? What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was the best season since the first one.
What did you think of the 87 endings?
It really kind of gave me Lord of the Rings vibes. It was like, okay, I thought this was the ending. Nope, this is the ending. No, this is.
I felt the same way about Goodfellas when I saw it. And what was the other one that did that to me? The Irishman did the same thing. The Irishman had like 84 endings, 80,000 endings.
I don't think I ever watched that.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So I watched that. So I just need to watch The Witcher, and I'm kind of caught up with most of my Netflix stuff that I actually wanted to watch.
I've not seen Cobra Kai yet. Like the latest season, I've not watched it yet. For some reason, I'm just holding back on it. I don't know why.
Oh no, you should. You should do that. Cobra Kai is great. Every time Cobra Kai comes out, I watch it in the first day.
That's also part of it because I know once I start watching it, I'm going to finish it in one day, and then like I'll be like, okay, cool.
It's only like 5 hours.
I know that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want it to end. I don't want this. I don't want to go through the whole thing of like, okay, well, I'm not going to sit here for another year. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new season. It's supposed to come out end of the year, I think, December-ish.
Oh, they moved it up, or they moved it up, didn't they?
I thought they said December.
Originally January. They always come out in January.
I saw December-ish, but I don't. Oh wait, I don't know if that's true. Because this says that the release date is September 9th. That seems real soon.
On which one again?
The new season of Cobra Kai, season 5, are they on? Is it 5?
Yeah, they're on season 5. So, yeah. So I don't know, but I really, it's like different website says September 9th. So I guess we're getting Cobra Kai real soon. They pushed back Wu-Tang, so I guess that's gonna have to do.
Oh, how's that work of fiction going?
I enjoy it. I enjoy the
season one. I was like, okay, I'm out. This is dumb. None of this crap happened.
I enjoy it. Like, I mean, a lot of it happened, just not in that way. Like, it's dramatized. I don't know if that's a word.
Because I know he goes back to where do they end up going at the end of the season? Do they go to Ohio?
Yes.
Because I know they go to Ohio. Because like if you listen to the early stuff, he's always shouting out Ohio.
Yeah, that part actually really did happen.
Yeah, see that I knew, but the stuff leading up to that was just complete BS.
Nah, I don't. No, okay. You haven't seen them actually in Ohio.
No, I have not seen season 2.
Man, listen.
Like the whole thing with like the bully and like he's gonna shoot the bully and all that. Get out of here.
Yeah, but that did happen though.
I'm pretty sure it didn't happen like
not in that way. It didn't happen in that way. It happened though. So, but yeah, but I really enjoyed Stranger Things. It's one of those shows that where it's like the nostalgic 80s. I'm not very nostalgic, but like I really kind of get into the groove of the 80s during that show, because it is very 80s.
I have to stop and remind myself constantly that the little sister, what's her, Nancy and Mike's little sister, that I'm the same age. I was the same age as her at that time.
Wow. Yeah. I saw the after show, and the black dude, his little sister, outside of the show and the after show, she does not look like that at all.
Really?
Man, she looks, it's weird. I don't know exactly how old she is, but
so I read somewhere that like next season they're gonna do a time jump because these people are already in their 20s.
Yeah, because a lot of the filming for the last season had gotten stretched out because of COVID.
Right.
So it took them like 3 years to do that season.
Because it's like you can only hold down something so much. If you know what I mean.
You have to do the Harry Potter thing where you have to film all of this shit early. You can release it later, but you have to film all of this shit like right now while they're at the ages that they are, before they get too old for.
Yeah, because it was like they're supposed to be freshmen. I'm like, what? No, Okay.
Yeah, it's super weird. It's super weird, but oh man, have you seen the trailer for A League of Their Own? Like they're making like a TV show.
No, I've not even heard of this.
I'm sorry, but it looks interesting. Did you watch The Good Place?
Yes.
Darcy, I think her name was Darcy Carden. She was the robot,
Oh yeah.
not
Yeah.
not a girl.
Not a girl.
She's one of the main characters.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
It looks interesting, but A League of Their Own is a movie that holds a high significance for me for being one of the worst days of my life.
Oh yeah. I've actually never seen the entire thing. I've just seen bits and pieces of it.
I've seen it, and it's always associated with pain. Okay, so I had a keloid on my shoulder, and I had it removed.
You had a what?
A keloid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a keloid on my shoulder from a fight that I got into when I was in 6th grade. But I had a keloid on my shoulder, and I had it removed. So I had to go to a dermatologist. She had to cut it out, whatever. She stitched it up so it could heal. I was out of school that day, and I was sitting there watching A League of Their Own when the medicine wore off.
Oh no.
Yeah. So A League of Their Own is always associated with pain to me. Because I was watching that movie when that medicine wore off. And boy, when that shit went away, I was screaming in pain.
You were like Mr. T in Rocky 3. Pain.
Exactly. Absolutely. So I might be down to watch that.
What is it gonna? I mean, what is it on a network? Is it on a streaming service? Is it when it comes out?
I believe it's on a streaming service, but let me find out which one.
Cool. I have access to all of them. I don't actually have any of them, but I have access to all of them.
So you associate that movie with pain? Like,
Yeah.
like kind of like a.
Kind of like I associate that Spin Doctor song with
It's a
loneliness and horrendousness.
Don't do that. Two Princess is awesome.
Sorry,
No, I don't even think it's awesome. I just like fucking with you when they come.
It popped up in a Twizzlers commercial, and I was like, I can't deal with this.
It's a Prime show. It's a Prime show, and it comes out on the 12th.
Should I come to the podcast with funky hat and be like,
why?
He really hates that song.
I know.
They were like, okay, family trips were not fun for me growing up. So there was a period where like I would go through it. I would be sitting in the back of the truck with a little camper on and everything. And I had a little portable radio. Every little town that we passed through, I would try to find like the music station. Every one of them, I kid you not, was playing fucking Two Princesses. I'm like, I'm done. Fuck this song.
I mean, it was a really popular song then.
Right.
It was super popular, bro. But I understand. I 100% understand.
Well, sometimes if Ernest Goes to Camp is on, my balls itch. Because the first time I shaved my balls, Ernest Goes to Camp was on.
Really?
You know what? That's cool. I was talking to my daughter about that, about like shaving, not shaving my testicles basically, but like shaving my chest, and like when they started growing back, it was like fucking itchy, and I'm just walking around like this whole fucking day, like scratching, like she was talking about shaving her legs and stuff like that, and like how annoying it is shaving her legs, and I'm like, imagine if you had to shave something else. It's bad. It's bad for you. Real bad. But I think we pretty much did it.
We didn't talk. Well, did we really discuss what we were watching?
I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, that's what you were doing.
Oh, that's what I
You
did.
didn't let the rest of us talk.
Oh, I know you got. Okay, good. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
You talking about what we were playing? Well, Scar always accuses me of watching things that no one else watches, like they made things just for me, and I'm the only one that watches it.
Yes.
So I have a couple of those.
Okay.
I forgot what the. So one of them is it's an FX show that I think it only airs on Hulu though. It's called The Old Man. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I've seen it advertised to me because I watch Misfits on Hulu.
They do the biggest switcheroo on me, and it pissed me off, and I stopped watching it. Okay,
Wow.
the way it's advertised, this old man that lives out in the woods. He's former CIA dude. You know, one of those dudes that like you get your hands dirty, type of dudes. He
Yeah.
retired and lives out in the woods. So what happened? So what happened was, so apparently in the '80s, him and the Trinity Killer. I don't remember his name, the actor's name. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about, right? Scar from Dexter, the guy who played the Trinity Killer.
What you call
Yeah.
it?
I forget his name, but the guy who's on Third
John
Rock from the
Lithgow?
Sun.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow and this dude who is actually it's the dude, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, Jeff Bridges is the old man, and his buddy John Lithgow.
A bunch of scraps. every time Jeff Bridges like comes up in my brain, I just
Right.
it's in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
The box of scraps. So like, yeah, Jeff Bridges is the old man, and he's living out in the woods. So apparently, the way the story goes, he was in Afghanistan during the Afghanistan-Russia conflict, helping out the Afghanis. So what happened was, and I pieced this together by watching the show. Yeah, he ran off with like the sheik's daughter. I mean, no, the sheik's wife. He ran off with the sheik's wife, and so he's been living in America with her in hiding ever since. Like he did not go back to the CIA. He was like, I'm out. So apparently, now that I think now it's back to now times. They made a deal. The U.S. government made a deal with the sheik for like information, prisoners, whatever they
Chris from The Wire plays in this show.
Oh yeah, he does. He's the hitman.
He also plays in Wu-Tang, but
he's in
the second season.
So the one thing that he wanted, the one thing that he wanted, I want the dude. I want Jeff Bridges because he stole my wife. You bring him to me. So now the CIA is going to try to hunt him down. That's the premise that we were given, right?
Okay.
A man in the woods hiding from, trying to fight the CIA off. That's not actually what happened. That's how it starts. But then it goes on to this thing where he has aliases, and one of his aliases is a multi-billionaire, and he's doing all this other weird shit with the Russians and this and that, and he kidnaps Amy Brenneman and all this. I'm out. I'm done. Oh, and also he has a secret daughter who secretly works at the CIA.
What?
His daughter. He secretly inserted her into the CIA years ago, and she's John Lithgow's like Padawan, basically.
Okay.
So I'm like, wow, don't you think they check these things?
Right.
It's the CIA.
How do you sneak someone into the CIA? Like they're supposed to do like all kinds of background checks and
like, come on, like you just get this person who shows up out of nowhere and just like, oh yeah, I'm your new apprentice or whatever. It's just so weird.
But what does he think about Tony Stark?
No, he was. He thinks he was in a cave with a box of scraps. Chase, come on.
Okay. It's in the cave.
No, somebody posted a picture of the lion Voltron, and they put that quote on there. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
Kind of looks like that.
So yeah, I was watching that, and I was just like, I'm done.
But what does he think about the Eagles?
Oh, hey, obviously you're not a golfer. Come on, Chase. But no, yeah, I was just like, I got up to like episode 4 or 5, and I was just like, this is stupid. I'm out. This is just ridiculous. It's just gotten more and more ridiculous.
I'm looking at the IMDb, and I see people that I know from other stuff.
Yeah, there's people. Yeah, every time the show comes on, I'm like, oh, I know that dude. I've seen that dude on something.
Yeah. But
I was watching that, and then I watched this other show called The Bear. which is pretty good. It's just like it was just really really short. It was 30-minute episodes, and there were 8 episodes. But the show was so good that I just binged the entire thing in like 4 hours. And now I'm like, okay, now I want season 2.
Math.
I have never heard of the band.
It's this dude who was like a chef out in New York in like one of those highfalutin restaurants. His brother owned his family owned a sandwich shop in Chicago, and his brother was owning it, and his brother died, and so now he comes back home to take it over, and he's dealing with all kinds of weird mess. But it's really really good. It takes you on an emotional roller coaster.
So it's not the sequel to Grizzly Man?
No, it's called The Bear because apparently he has nightmares where a bear attacks him.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And I think it's like a
I ain't
metaphor
asking no
for
more
like
questions.
it's a metaphor for his life or something. Like apparently his life is like I don't know, but it's a pretty good show.
Not asking any more questions.
Not that kind of bear.
John Bernthal plays in that show. He plays in 2 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the Punisher.
Oh yeah. He's on that show. I forgot. Yeah.
1 batch, 2 batch. Penny and down.
Chase, what are you doing?
I don't know. I have no idea what Chase is doing right now.
It looks like he's giving up. He's like, I'm out of here.
Right. Anything else?
Yeah.
I mean, I was ready to end the show when you were finished.
Yeah,
So
no, that's pretty much it. But yeah, now I have to wait for Chase.
yes, we do.
Chase,
Okay.
do you do this at work too, Chase? When you're in a meeting, do you just casually just walk off?
No.
So Scar says that we're done.
I'm totally. I think we done it. Unless you got something else to add.
We can talk about Spec Ops and Lime for an hour.
You have 5 minutes, sir. You have 5 minutes.
Pick up the line.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the podcast and downloading the show and watching the reactions and commenting on them. And I'd like to thank Sam for, having a name that only has 3 letters in it.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's 2 weeks in a row. One more and it's a streak.
Or a turkey.
All right, Chase.
Okay. So you want to close the show since you already started?
I just did.
Okay. So I guess peace out to the Warriors. Until the next time when we have where I guess might actually show up to August. And we hope we can get Scott back. We need to get Scott back.
Yeah.
We really need to get Scott back. So he can suggest something else that will get us in trouble. Only reason why we didn't get in trouble with Ginger is because I held back what I wanted to say. I had jokes. I had a couple of them. But yeah.
Well, after the podcast stop, you can tell me those jokes.
Hey.
No, remember we talked about it.
Scott's over there knocking it down at the dentist's office. Instead of the library.
Did I talk about it with you? I don't think I talked about it with you. I think I talked about it with Rashani. So yeah. Okay, so I will thank y'all, good people. No, Sam has to go because he has a live stream to attend to, and we appreciate y'all for checking in with us. This is August, and hopefully our guest will show up next week, and we'll be back with some more hotness. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Later.